Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, previous homeowner wants to come back and take their landscaping. I'll move when they get back. Stranger on the street demands my chocolate popsicle because it's provoking. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Previous homeowner wants to come back and take their landscaping. Received a peculiar message this morning from the previous owner of my home. They want to know if they can come take the hydrangea bushes from the backyard in front of the house as they are of sentimental value. We're talking at least half a dozen bushes, the kind that grow like trees. They're massive and they are part of the charm of our little cottage, and frankly, I don't want to see them go. I feel that I bought the property, landscaping included. We've lived here for 2 years and this is the first we've heard of the sentiment attached to these plants. I'd be willing to offer a cutting from one of the plants, but I'm so afraid if I give an inch, they'll take a mile. It just rubbed me the wrong way that they felt they could ask for my landscaping. Do not, I repeat, do not let them have the bushes. You bought them fair and square, it's been 2 whole years, and they are deluded to ask you for them. Give the cutting, yes, but not the bushes. Even giving a cutting is beyond what you owe them, because what you owe them is diddly squat. Make it 100% abundantly clear to them that those bushes are staying right where they are. I had purchased a home with large landscaping rocks in the backyard. Looked very nice. 3 months after I purchased the home, the old owners showed up and said they were here to take the rocks. I told them to F off. They were never mentioned in the contract and would leave the yard looking like crap. They left pissed and cussing, saying they would be back with the police. That was over 10 years ago and I haven't seen them since. Unless it states it in the contract, it was included in the same. Put up cameras like yesterday, because they sound like they just come and take them. You bought the house and property. They included the landscaping. If they had wanted any of it, the time to take it was when they moved out of the home, before you closed on the house. The landscaping is yours. Tell them no, and if they try to take it anyway, you will have them arrested for trespassing. It isn't their property anymore, and they are not entitled to anything on it. Not a chance. They could have taken one before you took possession, and even that wouldn't agree with me unless it was mentioned when the contract was signed. I wouldn't even offer them cuttings. I'll move when they get back. Last night my fiancé, a couple family members, and I all went out to see a concert. The concert was excellent, but I do believe we've had the displeasure of meeting one of the most entitled concert goers I've ever met on this planet. While my dad and I were up grabbing drinks in between bands, a man, roughly the size and shape of a minivan, shoved his way past my fiancé and double parked his ass on mine and my dad's seats. The conversation with my fiancé proceeds as follows. Fiancé, excuse me, someone's sitting there. Minivan, okay? Fiancé, can you please move? That's my fiancé's seat. Minivan, I'll move if he comes back. Fiancé, he's definitely coming back. Minivan, my seat's up there, points closer to the stage, I'll move when he gets back. Approximately 4 minutes of the minivan ignoring my beloved. Later, I show back up from getting drinks, not having checked my phone. This minivan must have had a powerful engine, because in the time I was processing my confusion at this man in my seat, he leapt up and sheepishly returned himself to the seat closer to the stage he was originally in. Part of me is glad that I hadn't checked my texts beforehand, because I would have absolutely gotten kicked out for knocking this rude man on his ass, but the entire situation was so damn perplexing he managed to scurry away while I was still processing his entitlement. Something similar happened to me, except the seat usurpers pretended they couldn't hear me because of the music. It's a pity that I'm a terrible dancer and can't control where my elbows move. Oh, I am so glad I am not the only one with that problem. Maybe he was trying to edge in on something other than your seats. Maybe your return dodged a bullet for your fiancé or someone else around you. Very weird and entitled indeed. She suspects that possibly he was potentially upset about Pokemon Go. Fiancé and her kid brother had just taken the gym at the venue waiting for the next band to come on, and pretty much as soon as they had he showed up shortly after. Oh, for going back into history when woman had hat pins. It would have been an interesting moment in this fool's life. Just carry an emergency hat pin. First time I've heard a man described this way. It must be really hard on his joints to carry that much adipose tissue around on them. He won't be bothering anyone very long if he doesn't get lighter or have joint replacement surgeries. The ticker doesn't play out first. Stranger on the street demands my chocolate popsicle because it's provoking. So yup, just like you read it. I'm still confused, and this happened almost a week ago. So, I was coming back from university the other day, and in my country, it's almost spring, so it was very hot out. I had some extra money on my pocket after buying some notes for a class I had to attend, so I decided I could buy a popsicle, at least I think that's how it's called in English. It's one of those cylinder ice creams in a stick. And I found a gas station that sold one of my childhood favorites, a Nesquik Pop, so I said why not? I was walking back home, eating my popsicle, and on that, I passed next to some boy and girl couple. Mind you, I don't know these people, but they seemed roughly my age. Then suddenly, the girl yells at me. "Hey! Could you please stop that?" She yelled. I was honestly confused, and at first I didn't turn around, thinking she maybe was speaking to someone that could be behind me, not that I saw anyone, but hey, not my business, I figured. But then she yelled at me again until she grabbed my shoulder, to which I struggled and looked at her, confused. "What?" I finally asked. As I looked at her, I wasn't annoyed, but definitely confused. The boy also was looking at her and trying to signal her to stop, like shaking his hands left and right, how to call it. "Do you know how disgusting it is you are provoking my boyfriend while eating that popsicle?" She asked me. By then I was like, WTF? Excuse me? I simply asked, confused. "You should give it to me. If anyone should try to provoke him, it's me, you witch. Ya know what I mean." By then, I wasn't quite understanding, but the boy simply told her to stop and walked away with her, not before apologizing to me. I honestly am so confused. So to some people, the act of eating a popsicle or a banana or a lollipop or even a freaking potato they see as being provoking. It's not you, it is their sick mind. There is a reason the boyfriend was shaking his head and pulling her away. He knew she was acting crazy. The amazing thing is that he left with her, and didn't just take off running during this scene. Internalized misogyny is a witch. She was obviously taught that eating phallic food entices boys and didn't want her boyfriend, the animal with no self-control, to be enticed. Screaming abusive relationship. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.